everybody. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the podcast, All Things Business. Today, we're so excited about having this young lady, Miss Keri Roeder, come in and share some tips on building businesses. She's had traditional business from a retail plant, nursery, construction company, landscaping and concrete. And also she converted from regular traditional business into a network marketing business as well. So with that said, let's get in there. How are you doing, Miss Keri Roeder?
I am fabulous, Mr. L. Thomas. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey, we thank you for taking the time to be on the channel today. I mean, on the podcast today. We want to ask a few questions. Just really, so you got started in all these businesses. What do I understand? You're what? How much? 37 years old when you got started?
So in network marketing, I was 37, but in our traditional businesses, my husband and I were in our late 20s.
Late 20s. Okay. Tell us, let's take it back to the late 20s when you guys got started, your traditional business. What got you into traditional business? And then we'll talk about in a few minutes, why did you convert over to network marketing? But let's talk about the traditional business a little bit. What got you started? What got you excited about traditional business?
Actually, my husband. I was studying to be a licensed marriage family therapist. And
Uh-huh.
my husband, I always wanted to have my own practice, however, be in
Yeah.
control of my own life. My husband actually moved back to our hometown to be apprenticed by a Japanese man that he wanted to learn landscape design and construction from. We had an opportunity to purchase the corporation, which was 90 years old. So we were in our late 20s and we kind of, it's a long story, but we were able to figure it out, spent more money than we had, but it was worth it because
Sure.
my husband had worked for the company for years and we wanted to be business owners. We always wanted to
Yeah.
be in control of how much we could make in our time.
That's why most people go in traditional business, but we all know since this world closed down, things have changed drastically. And I've been around a lot of business people that have converted out of that into network marketing because they found out they can have more free time, got more leverage without the headaches of overhead, FICA, OSHA, employees, all these taxes. And plus, they have the freedom to be at home with their children and also indoctrinate them into a business they can grow into a family business. So at 37, you decided, what got you into network marketing at 37, started to, from traditional, what made you get the change?
Well, what ended up happening was when the economy fell in 2007, my husband is extraordinarily talented, and we had more than a year out on the calendar for construction work. So we were able to survive 2007, 2008, 2009. He came in the office and said, "It's time for you to go on a budget." And I said, "You still have a calendar? When other people have shut their doors, get out of my office," right? And then 2010 came around and we had survived. However, at the consequence of both of us working 7 days a week, work ethic isn't our issue. Our concern was that our daughter was 5 and in kindergarten, and I was able to spend time with her because I volunteered in her classroom every day. And then I would pick her up from school and bring her to my office. But my husband didn't have time with her. And so even though financially we had thousands of dollars out there in contracts, when my cousin called me and invited me to take a look at a business that he had just gotten started in because he knew we were successful in business, when I saw the concept of network marketing and they understood true residual income, that is where I got excited because I understood at that point that not only could we still be business owners, but we could be in control of our time, like you just said, and we could also be in control of how much money we would make based on the work that we were willing to put in. And again, work ethic wasn't our issue. It was the 4 businesses we had were linear income. My husband would fulfill contracts and him and the guys would have to go do another contract. Then we would come into our place of retail business and buy something, and I'd have to hope that my staff did a good job, right, to make them want to come back again and tell their friends about us. So
Yeah.
network marketing really allowed us to see in my opinion, a better way to generate business income.
A better way to generate business income. See, a lot of traditional business owners are looking for this now because the way the world is going. You said something very important, work ethic. A lot of people don't succeed in this business because they think it's a lottery or a crap shoot They get one person, I'm gonna sit back and wait for them to do something. But you brought your worth ethic. And I think that is a key to being successful, even in traditional business, even in real estate. You got to have a strong worth ethic. And you said something else. You were willing to put the work in. And so many times today, people wanted everything microwave society, microwave food, microwave this. Everybody wants so fast, but they don't want to take the time to build it correctly. And being that you guys were business owners at 20, in the 20s, and at 37 decided we need to do something to change this because we went through 07, 08, 09, and we did survive 010. However, we're smart, we're still young. Let's look at another avenue. If we put the same amount of effort into our own home-based business, my God, there's so much more freedom. Spend more time, like you say, key thing with your daughter as a family, and people, it's so amazing how people look at this and don't get it. I'm thinking about something kind of funny. The last time I saw your husband, which is a good friend of mine, we're all on a cruise together, enjoying life. You can't do that in traditional business. If you can't, I got to be right back. I got to be back. We were on, it's enjoying life. That's what's beautiful. So this is amazing. Now, I also understand you're a community leader up in your part of the Northern California. What do you do in Northern California as a community leader? What kind of give us a little idea about that? You're a busy lady.
I am. I'll tell you about that. But the other reason why I got started in network marketing is because the system was already in place and I didn't have to think. I just had to follow direction. And I loved that design allowed me to do it part-time, still having to work 7 days a week and having my young daughter. And so the idea that network marketing, if it's the right company, gives you a system, you just follow directions. So that was also incredibly appealing to me.
Wow. Follow the direction. This is powerful. Folks, hope you guys get this out there that's watching tonight. Don't try to create the wheel. Don't try to be Frank Sinatra. He's the only one I know made $1 million off that song, My Way. She said, follow a system that is already in place. So in other words, they know what works. Just follow it. Go ahead on.
Right. Okay, so when I first got started in network marketing, I was volunteering in my daughter's kindergarten classroom every day. I was also on the site council of the school, so just helping with decisions and stuff. In the community, I was on the board of directors of the Chamber of Commerce of my town, and I chaired an ambassador team for the chamber, which is 4 or 5 hours extra volunteer I did for the business community. And I'm daddy's little girl, so to spend time with my dad, I also belong to a community service club. So all of that was still happening when I started my network marketing company. Today, go ahead.
I didn't want to really cut in, but I did because I want people to understand. Don't give me an excuse out there how busy you are. Listen to her. She's still going on. Continue on.
So today, my kiddo is actually in college. I apologize. That's why I'm in my car. I'm driving home from Santa Barbara right now, and I didn't make it home in time. So we're empty nesters. And so now what I'm doing is my dad actually fell seriously ill almost 4 years ago, and we couldn't figure out why. And so I took it upon myself to start attending every single one of his medical appointments. Well, as a result, we figured out what happened. But now he has the start of dementia. He's physically ill. So my day schedule is actually taking my dad around to all of his medical appointments. But I also do a lot of networking. So I belong to several networking groups, a specific referral group. I recently actually just started also attending different real estate networking events because I recognize that working alongside realtors with the particular company I'm a part of is really an asset. And then I also do still volunteer in the community, attending different events, and just helping in different communities. So events. So like Saturday, I'm volunteering at a fundraiser. That tends to be where I spend my time now, is volunteering for fundraisers.
I have one question for you. Sure. Are you ready? Yes. When do you sleep? When do you sleep?
Wow. Well, I wake up this way. I wake up energized and I go to bed energized. I don't sit still until about 9 p.m. because I just am always in movement. I'm 51 now, and somebody, we were driving to a leadership convention, and she said, wow, I can only imagine what you were like in your 20s. If you have this much energy at 51, how much energy did you have in your 20s? And but honestly, when you love the people you're with, when you love what you do, uh, you just keep going. And
Yeah.
when things need to get done, you get it done. So
So let me say, is it fair to say at 51 with more energy that you enjoy A, the traditional business that you had, all of them, or B, network marketing?
network marketing, hands
All right,
down.
by far. Let me ask
You
you
get
another
to meet
question.
some of the most amazing humans. The people I've met, like you, and our team, and just people I've met around the country, are phenomenal. And so I would not have had an opportunity to meet these people and become friends and become like family if it hadn't been for my network marketing company.
Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you a word. I'm going to go through a word, and I want you to give me your definition. Are you ready? I got about five of them here. I want your definition as a superstar, a non-tireless 51-year-old woman who's going full board. First word, persistent. What would that mean for you?
It means you keep going and finish never is. There is no finish line. You just
Wow.
keep going.
Finish never is. Okay. Determination.
That is drive. Make a decision and keep going until you accomplish whatever it was you're looking to accomplish. Like, just you have to have you to be driven.
Now, I do understand if I got this correctly, when you first went and did a meeting for the company you're involved, you saw all these people and you went out and you just broke some records and it was on the charts and because of your determination, was that what you say?
Yes, my desire to have my daughter and my husband have quality time together was worth the having to find time to fit network marketing in around my schedule and sacrifice sleep, but sacrifice, different social events and stuff like that. It's the determination to allow them to not allow them to create the scenario where they could have the quality time together. I visualized it. I
Hmm.
imagined what it sounded like, what it felt like. And I'll tell you, Mr. Thomas, just over a year of doing network marketing, we made some decisions. And my husband and I picked our daughter up from school one day. And I was in the house and they were in the backyard and they were bouncing a ball against the house, which was great. I could hear them giggling and laughing. And I remember just thinking, wow, all the other daddies, we live in a cul-de-sac, all the other daddies are at work right now. And my husband is 3 o'clock. He's in the backyard playing with our daughter. This is exactly what I wanted. And then I heard crash because they hit the light. And all I could do was start giggling because at least they're in the backyard giggling and laughing and bouncing a ball instead of him being stressed and at work and all of that.
See, this is what I want to bring out, which I love. You were determination of work. You were determined to see the job through for your dreams, your desires, your goal for your family, and you were not stopping at nothing less. And you got that fulfilled when in the kitchen, smiling, hearing the ball hit the wall and hit the gate, and all of a sudden the light broke. It's just so much pleasure in what you just said because a lot of people don't see or determined to see the job through and you fulfilled what your dream was, and that's the power of network marketing. It can fulfill people's dream if they don't quit and stay with it until they get to the task that they have at hand. That's powerful. Now the third word I was going to say, you already kind of touched on it, well, not just desire, but you have what I call a burning desire.
Yes.
So
The Go ahead.
go ahead. What does the burning desire mean to you? I think you've already said that with determination.
So for me, a burning desire is your reason why. What gets you up in the morning? What makes you go, put one foot in front of the other? What makes you, regardless of whether it's network marketing or your job that you hate, why do you get up in the morning? Why do you go do what you do? And for that reason, take that burning desire and apply it into network marketing, like I said a while ago, follow the very simple system. The burning desire is your reason why, what motivates you. And what I have found in 14 and a half years of doing network marketing is that my burning desire has shifted because I went from wanting my husband and my daughter to have quality time together to now, my kiddos in college and being able to help other people fulfill whatever their burning desire is. And so be flexible in that your burning desire evolves as you have success and meet other people.
Wow. A lot of people have desires. Oh, they desire this, it is, but they don't put the action into the desire to make it a burning desire that they want it that bad. Wow, that was powerful. The next word I want you to give me a description of is a word called commitment.
Oh, that's funny.
That was a good laugh.
Commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the feeling has left you. And especially when times get tough, when you are disappointed, when you are sad, when you feel like quitting, that is when you pull up your big girl panties and stick to your decision, because that is commitment. And I look at it this way. I'm a mom. And when I make a commitment to something, if I walk away from that commitment, I'm telling my daughter it's okay to walk away from her commitment. And it's not
Wow.
okay. It is not okay. And so when we get back to that burning desire, right? So when our reason why is big enough, and in my case, it's my daughter, when our reason why is big enough, then our commitment can stay in place, even when times get tough and we're sad and disappointed and frustrated and all that. To me, commitment means you stick through it, even though there are times you don't want to.
It sounds like a job. People go through Monday through Friday, and there's nothing wrong with a job, but it blows my mind how people are committed to something that does not work. And when they find something that does work, they don't put any time into it. I've always said if the average person put an hour or two a day in their own home-based business, a job, will take care of that. So it's very important to understand commitment. A person got committed to this business. The last word I'm going to ask you to give me a description of is something you can't see, you can't touch, you can't even feel. It's called faith.
Mm. Wow. Hope, belief, a knowingness, to just put yourself out there and believe, and just know that there's something bigger than you that is guiding you and providing you the strength, providing you the yeah, because you can't feel it, you can't touch it. I look at it this way, is that having faith, whether it's faith in yourself, faith in something bigger than you, it is just the knowingness that there is a design for your life, and it's greater than what you're experiencing. And if you'll just keep putting one foot forward in front of the other, back to commitment, right? Even when you don't want to, back to your burning desire, your reason why, and dedication and persistence. Faith is just moving through the tough times with the confidence and the knowingness that you're going to get through it.
Wow, that was a lot. People get up every day, Monday through Friday, going to work with a faith they'll get a check in 2 weeks. Isn't that amazing? And yet still they get in any other industry and they don't have the faith. I told people all the time, don't let your future self look back at your present self and get mad.
This is why you're brilliant. This is why tens of thousands of people follow you, because of that phrase right there. This is why the level of respect that people have for you, not just in network marketing, but outside of network marketing, that you're brilliant. That I'm gonna have to write that one down when we get off
Yeah.
this.
And I always share another thought with people. If you don't come from a wealthy family, make sure a wealthy family comes from you.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because I do not come from a wealthy family, so I like that.
I didn't either. My father was a sergeant. My mother stayed home taking care of us knuckleheads. And God saw it fit to give me three billionaires that trained me. Not one, not two, but three. So I'm very fortunate and I have a calling on my life to give back, to help people. That's why this channel was designed, called All Things Business, not just real estate, not just network marketing, not just traditional business, but all things business, because they all have the same basic principles. Some are better than others, but they all work if you work it the right way. And the way the economy is going, more and more businesses are closing up. I'm reading every week, 10,000 here, 12,000 there, 6,000 here. And the economy is in a downfall. And people are looking for people right now that they can get involved with, that they can trust, to give them the vision of their future and take them with them into the dreams that they desire.
Yep.
Wow, this has been very interesting. It's been great. So here's, ladies and gentlemen, 51 years old, been in network marketing 14 and a half years and done a phenomenal job, I might add. And her and her husband went from traditional business, from retail plant nursery to construction company to landscaping and concrete, bought a 90-year-old company, took it off, went running with it. And then when 2008, 9, 10 came around, hey, what? So many people are closing down, could not afford to open back up, lost everything. They decided to make a shift. There you go, a shift into from a traditional business into a business that she can run from home with her husband and have more quality time with her daughter and her husband. And now, like I said, the last time I saw her husband, we were on a cruise together in the middle. I forgot what cruise ship. That's one of the things I love about this business. You own your time. And the power of leverage. There's two things that people don't understand about leverage and residual income. And you have both of those after 14 and a half years. I thank you. So in closing, is there a couple things you want to say to our listening audience out there? Oh, wait a minute, let's do this. If anybody got a question out there, let's take a couple questions from the listening audience out here since we're live tonight. Does anybody have a question? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat, and Mr. Clemens will give it to me. And we can get to Ms. Roeder here. Anybody has a question out there for this 51-year-old superstar that's running sun up to sundown? So I don't want to hear people don't have time, but when she got finished sharing her day, I'm like, wow, I almost had to get a napkin out, a paper towel. Does anybody have a question?
Well, why people think of their question, I will share this. That, as you said, people have dreams and they have desires for something different, something better. Then they're invited by somebody they know, or maybe somebody they don't know, to take a look at network marketing. And, people have an instant judgment of network marketing. It's either good or it's bad. And what I would suggest is that people just be open-minded. Be open-minded, because the most expensive thing you own is a closed mind. And so when you're invited to take a look at network marketing, be open-minded. When you get started and you invite other people, be prepared for other people's reactions and responses to not be as solid as yours. And don't let other people's negative viewpoint of network marketing sway you from your wise decision to add this business income into your business portfolio.
Wow, that comes from a lady, 51 years old, on multiple businesses, and she's going at it. And I love that. I was talking to a gentleman, we're going to get to a question in just a second, the other day, and he says, well, it's one of those things. Huh? I said, what do you mean one of those things? And I said, well, if you go into Sam's Club, there's one on the wall. President, vice president, upper management, lower management, supervisor, all the way down to the workers. I said, where do you fall in this cast of characters? And it startled him. And I said, well, let me say it another way that you may understand better. The military knows it works. One general, two colonels, three majors, four captains, lieutenants, sergeant. He went, wow, I never looked at it. I said, they even know it works. The problem is the one you're working, you can't ever get up to the top. You got to build it from the bottom. And with that said, Mr. Clemens, we have a question real quick, sir.
Yes, sir. We have a question from Miss Sherion out in Florida. Says, since you were already an entrepreneur, did any of your prior skills help you build this business? And if so, which one?
Wow, that's a phenomenal question. My entrepreneurial skills did not necessarily, my traditional business skills did not necessarily help me find success in network marketing because the system was already in place. And I knew not to buck the system, just follow the directions. So, for example, my husband and daughter, when she was little, they used to always bake brownies, right? Box of brownies. And so it was the box, it was some oil, vegetable oil, water, and an egg. Well, one day my daughter says, Mama, I was out in the garage. She comes out, Mama, I'm going to make the brownies. I said, okay, fine. I'll be in a minute. She goes, I got this. Daddy's taught me. Right. So I go in like a half an hour later and she's mixing and crying. And I said, what, baby girl, what's wrong? She goes, it looks funny and it smells funny. Daddy's not here to help me. And I said, well, honey, what'd you chew? So we started looking around. She goes, well, we were out of vegetable oil. So I used Daddy's special cooking oil. She put sesame oil in her brownie mix. And clearly it was gross and it wasn't going to work. So that's always my example that when you get started in network marketing, follow the very simple directions. Now, being an entrepreneur, what did help me was my desire to be in control of my life, be in control of my time, and be in control of how much money I can make. So, but you don't have to have already been in traditional business necessarily to come with that burning desire and dedication and all those questions that Mr. Thomas had asked me. So hopefully that answers her question.
Wow, that's a great answer. That was a great question, Sherry, on down there in Florida. Anybody else? The next question. We have another question, sir.
Yes, sir. Next question is from Mr. Buddy Lee. If you could start over again, what would you have done differently?
Ooh, another great question. What I would have done differently is I would have gone faster. I did not have the fastest start because, again, you heard my schedule. Okay. Once I went to a training and I figured out there was a system in place, that's when I reached out to my first mentor and I asked her some questions, and she suggested that I go to the large training event that was put on by the co-founders. And so when I went to that training event, I experienced what it felt like to be successful because I watched other people be recognized for their success. So the, Monday morning quarterbacking, right? So now if I could have started all over again, I would have gone to a training faster and I would have followed the directions faster and not tried to put sesame oil in the brownies when it calls for vegetable oil.
That's funny. I like that answer. Thank you. That was a great question, Mr. Buddy Lee. We have another question, Mr. Clemens. All right. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure to serve you tonight. And we thank you for joining the podcast tonight, All Things Business with Miss Keri Roeder. We appreciate her going through what the word persistent means to her, determination means to her, burning desire means to her, commitment, and also faith. But also just looking back, she says the important thing is have a system that's already in place that you can just follow the system and don't try to reinvent the new wheel and just stick with it. And now 14 and a half years later, this young lady is doing fantastic. So we want to thank her for her time tonight. We want to thank her for all the businesses and also the things she's done. Hopefully that you guys have learned something tonight that you can implement in your life to change it for the betterment, because this channel is all about giving value to people in the avenues they're looking for, whether it's real estate, network marketing, or just traditional businesses. And with that, with Mr. Clemens and myself, Ms. Keri Roeder, we want to thank you for your time today. We know you pulled off, got the hair right, put the top down. We thank you for that. Driving back from Santa Barbara back to the Bay Area. into Northern California. Thank you so much, dear, for taking time out, and thanking all you folks out there. Hit the subscribe button below. And matter of fact, if I were you, ladies and gentlemen out the audience tonight, share this with at least 7 people and see what happens for you. And with that said, thank you so much. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. God bless everybody out there. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Bye.